to go over just the main things to go along with this essay here coming up. So let's take a quick look at the main things to think about as you're getting going. So here we go. Sorry, let's get this started again. Here we go. All right, so number one, overview and tips. It should have a title, so don't just say essay one. The title should reflect your argument. I do want you to actually have a title for this one, so come up with something. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it should have something to do with your argument. And don't be afraid to use more than just a couple of words. Try not to just say underprivileged or something like that. That's not enough for the reader to know what you're talking about. So we'll go over some examples here in a minute. Number two, each paragraph should have just one topic with examples and arguments to back it up. So use your topic sentences, that kind of thing. Make sure to have a topic sentence that clearly sets up the topic. That's why I had you do the outline. So hopefully you already have that kind of set up a little bit. You've got your topic sentences and stuff ready to go. And then you can just sort of fill everything in. Make sure you're not to just agree with the author and repeat what they say. This should be your argument with your own examples. So you can definitely refer to it, quote things from it, that kind of thing, but it should mainly be what do you think? And you can talk about, things that have happened to you, things that have happened to people things about definitions of things, what you think, just in general, your opinion, all that kind of stuff. But you don't want to just agree with everything that they said, because otherwise then you're just repeating their article. Also, it should not have sources other than the article you're responding to. So this is just you, just your opinion. Don't go out and look for anything. This is just your argument. So if you're having trouble getting to 3 or 4 pages, let me know. I can try to help. But that was another reason that I had you do the outline, to make sure that you have enough to get through, that amount. And like I said, use your own experiences, opinions, stories about people things you've read in the media, even a hypothetical situation, but only as a last resort. I'd really rather have you, talking about people or yourself or that kind of thing. You can use I in this one too if you're going to talk about yourself. But sometimes hypothetical situations can also be a way to illustrate something you want to say. Just make sure that they actually go with what you're talking about. It should be a completed draft, not a rough draft, and it should meet the 3 to 4 page requirement. So this isn't like, even though we're going to do 2 drafts of every essay, the first draft should be as good as you can get it, because then I'll give you notes back and then you can revise and polish. So if you already know what's wrong with the rough draft, then me giving you notes is not really going to be very helpful. But if your draft is complete, then my notes can help you learn to make things even better, which is, part of the purpose. It should be double spaced with no space between paragraphs. We'll look at formatting here in just a couple of minutes. It should have a works cited only with the article you're responding to. I am going to go ahead and just send that out in our announcements. So what you'll do is you'll just delete whatever articles you're not using. I went ahead and put that together for you guys for this particular essay because we haven't gone over works cited yet, and because this way, because all of these articles are coming from different places and things like that, so it's just easier. So I kind of already did that for you, but make sure that you do include it. All right, so titles, like I said, make sure your title goes with your argument and capitalize all the main words. Some examples from our readings are, who are you calling underprivileged, which kind of, gets the reader to kind of think about that. They might be interested in that. Also, all words matter, the manipulation behind all lives matter. This is sort of intriguing. Think of it sort of almost like clickbait. You want the reader to be interested in what you're going to say based on your title. Or defining the relationship. I actually added this one, setting boundaries between professors and students, only because I feel like just saying defining the relationship wasn't quite enough for that one. If it were me, I would suggest something a little bit more like that. Okay, so looking at body paragraphs for this essay, like I said, make sure each paragraph has just one topic with examples and arguments to back it up. Make sure you have a topic sentence that clearly sets up the topic. Make sure it's just your argument, that you're not repeating what the author said. And it should not have any other sources other than the article you're responding to. It should be primarily your own thoughts. So again, use your own experiences, opinions, stories about people yourself, anything like that. So let's take a quick look at an example. This one says, colleges, which are supposed to be institutes of higher learning, should know better than to use words like underprivileged in their marketing materials. So that's kind of setting up. Now they're going to talk specifically about that. This is if you're going to be responding to this particular article. This is just, of course, if you're doing the all words matter, or if you're doing the defining the relationship choices, then obviously, this is just an example to kind of give you an idea. Anyway, then it says they should research the connotations of words used on financial aid brochures to avoid offending students with words like underprivileged. If you look up synonyms for the word underprivileged on Google, you find words like disadvantaged and even destitute. Therein lies the problem. If we take this definition one step further, synonyms for destitute include deprived, bankrupt, bereft, and empty. Small wonder that Rodriguez said in her article that the material made her feel worthless rather than excited about attending those institutions. So you'll see in here, all of this beginning part is just this student's opinion. And then in here, they quote from Rodriguez's article to help back up what they're saying. Then if we keep going here, it says, but if you look at other synonyms for underprivileged, you find in need, which Rodriguez says is a, quote, a definition I can agree with. Therefore, if the college in question had simply spent a few more minutes researching proper language, it would have found a better alternative. Therefore, it is imperative that colleges go through a thorough editing process before financial aid materials are sent to students, especially since these materials are supposed to encourage students to attend, not discourage them. If a college makes this kind of mistake on a widely distributed flyer, they may even make a potential student question the quality of the school, since colleges should be more careful. So this is talking about colleges being more careful. So is this. So this kind of like ties everything together. They're giving good examples in here. This is all their opinion. They quote from Rodriguez's article a couple of times. And you can see that the whole thing is argumentative. They could also in here possibly include their own experience if they've had that, or experiences that other people they know have had, or that kind of thing. But you can see in here just to give you an example of how you might put together a paragraph. Okay, be careful of plagiarism. This is important. So no AI, no ChatGPT. This is considered cheating, so you can't ask AI to write it for you. Don't put the prompt into AI or ChatGPT. This is just supposed to be your opinion, your argument. You'll turn in your second draft to Turnitin.com to check for plagiarism, so please don't do it. It'll result in a 0 for the assignment. I love all you guys, and I love teaching, love working with my students, and I don't like to get anyone in trouble, so just please don't do it. Really, this first essay is just intended for me to see that you can construct a strong argument, and so that's why we're not using sources or anything like that. So just figure out what your opinion is on this particular thing. Also, don't copy and paste, obviously, anything from online for the same reasons. So this should just be your argument opinion. Don't go looking for things on the internet or online or anything like that. Just think about, what do you really think, and what experiences have you had that go along with what you think and the topic. Again, this should be a completed draft. This should be, it should meet at least the minimum 3 full pages. So not 2.5, not 2 1/4, that kind of thing. 3 full pages is not a lot for a college essay. So you should be able to get to at least 3. Don't stress about it, but, try to make it the best essay you can. Just do your best on it. You've got the full week to work on it. And hopefully, go back and look at the homework, the introduction. Make sure to look at my notes on that. Look at your outline. All those things are intended to hopefully, help you as you're getting ready to write it. And then you'll get notes back from me, and you'll do a second draft to revise later on. Formatting, once again, MLA style, 9th edition. I'll show you an example in a minute. Times New Roman 12-point font. This isn't always the default in Microsoft Word or Google Docs, so just make sure that you change it. Make sure that you're looking at that. That's important. I will be looking at that. Double spaced, that's just standard. No spaces in between the paragraphs. I do want you to have a header. I'll show you in just a second how that should look. And then you should have the works cited. Again, I'll show you how that should look in just one second. For the works cited, this should only have the article you're responding to. So, and you shouldn't be using anything else. So I'll show you here in just a minute how that should look. So basically, if we look here, for your header, it should have your name. It should have my name. It should have the class. And then it should have the date right here. So it should be day, month, year. And then here is the title. There should be no spaces, before or after the title, that kind of thing. Everything should be double spaced. And then you should have your last name up here. If you just double click this, it'll bring up the header, and then you can change this to, your name or whatever, and then click this red X to get out of there. And also, if you're working in Word, if you go to File, New from Template, There is an MLA style paper, so you can use that. I highly recommend using that because that way it sets it all up for you, and all you have to do is just plug things in. So I know this is probably a review for everybody, but I always like to mention it because I still will, I want to make sure we're all on the same page for this first essay, especially. So, and then also if we're looking at the works cited, like I said, I already put these together for you guys. So I'm going to send this out in announcements. So please look at that, and then use whichever one you're referring to. So if you are, if you're responding to defining the relationship, then just use this one. If you're responding to the all words matter one, just use that one. If you're responding to underprivileged, just use that one. This is all set up for you. So let's say you were just doing defining the relationship, then you can just delete these and put that at the end of your paper and you're good to go. So I did a little bit of the work for you this time. We will talk on the next paper about how to do the works cited and that kind of thing. But for this, that's all you need. And that should be it. Guys, thanks, guys.